Hello, welcome back to Sorare Assist. Adam here, and today I'm going to be highlighting the best players of the upcoming World Cup in Qatar for Group H. This is the conclusion of my World Cup series, and I've already highlighted the previous groups on this channel, so do check them if you've not seen them already. If you like this video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're not signed up to Sorare yet, sign up using the link below to get a free limited card and 30 incoming cards. Check out my Patreon and SorareAssist.com. Okay guys, let's get stuck into today's content then. So as I say, I'm going to be highlighting the best players from Group H today. This is the final video in this World Cup series videos. As I say, I've already covered Groups A, B, C, D, E, F and G in the previous videos, so do watch them to check out the other players as well. Remember as well guys that none of this content is financial advice. So let's start as always by looking at the group, see which teams are in the group, see who the favourites are, and then we'll go on to picking the best players from these teams. So here it is then, this is Group H in all its glory. As you can see, Portugal are the heavy favourites in this one, followed by Uruguay, and then we have South Korea and Ghana, both with the same odds to potentially qualify from this group. Portugal are obviously the favourites in this one. There's going to be a few highlighted players on this video today. Managed to find some from Ghana and South Korea as well, some players from those teams, and also some players from the Uruguayan team as well. A very familiar name. Okay guys, let's kick off then. I'm going to start in with the goalkeepers, then moving on to defenders, midfielders and forwards. Then at the end of the video I'll also be highlighting my dream SO5 team from all the players in this group. So in terms of the goalkeeper, looks like the best option is the Portuguese goalkeepers. Although I don't know who is going to be the starting player out of Rui Patricio and Diego Costa. But it looks like Diego Costa has actually started the last two competitive games in the Nations League. So I would bet that he's potentially going to be the starter for Portugal. In the last year, he has started 6 games for Portugal and kept 3 clean sheets, got an average of 56.5. Rui Patricio in the last year in the competitive matches has also started 5 games, but he's also kept 3 clean sheets. So it's just uncertain at the moment who's going to be the first choice between these two. I'm just going to go off the last competitive games. That was Diego Costa started those, Rui Patricio was on the bench. But it might be something worth considering and researching if you are considering one of these players. So in terms of defenders then, for South Korea I've found Kim Yong-won of Ulsan Hyundai. In the last year he started 6 games for South Korea. He scored 1 goal as well, an average of 59.1 and an AA score of 19.9. These are all the competitive games though, so they've probably played some weaker opposition in those matches. That is something to consider when you're considering any of the South Korean players. Another player in the South Korea squad I've gone for in defence is Kim Jin-soo of Jeonbak Motors. In the last year for South Korea he started 6 games, scored 1 goal, 1 assist, and he's got a really good 64.1 average and a fantastic all-round score of 24. So Jin-soo could be a decent option for South Korea in defence. Another good option for South Korea is Kim Min-jae, who's now playing for Napoli and is on fantastic form for them. Over the last year he started 8 games for South Korea, he's got 1 assist, and he's got a fantastic 68.8 average in the last 8 games. He's also got an all-round score of 30.7. Again, this is probably against weaker opposition like Syria, Iran, United Arab Emirates, so that is something to consider, but is certainly capable of getting some good scores in Italian Serie A, so even against harder opposition in the World Cup, I would suspect he's still going to get some pretty decent scores. Moving on to the Portugal team then, and I've gone for Ruben Dias for Manchester City. The last year for Portugal he started 4 games, he's got 51.8 average. Scores hasn't been that great recently, but if we look at the full scores that we've got available on here, as you can see he is capable of getting some good scores, and I would think that he's going to show up at the World Cup. Another good option for Portugal is Nuno Mendes, also plays for PSG, only 20 as well this guy, and in the last year for Portugal he started 6 games, and he's got an all-round score of 22.5. He's also got an average score of 56.1 as well in all the competitive games for Portugal, so he's looking a really good option in the upcoming World Cup. Moving on to midfielders then, and the first Ghana player that I've gone for is Thomas Partey of Arsenal. He is currently injured, but hopefully will be back in time for the World Cup. In the last year he started 5 games for Ghana in competitive matches, scored 1 goal, 2 assists. He's also got 56 59.6 average as well over the last year for Ghana in competitive games. And he's probably one of the main men for Ghana at this year's World Cup. A midfielder for South Korea to consider is Jae Sung Lee, who plays in the German Bundesliga for Mainz. In the last year for South Korea, he started 7 games, got 1 goal and 4 assists, so it looks like one of the main men for South Korea. He's also got an average of 64.6 as well in the competitive games for South Korea over the last year. Another midfield option for South Korea is Hwan In-moom of Olympiacos. In the last year for South Korea, he started 6 games and also scored 1 goal and also won 1 penalty as well. He's got a 65.6 average in those 6 games and 22.3 all-round score. So he could be a really good option again for South Korea in midfield. For Portugal, I've gone for Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United. Obviously, he's a fantastic player for Portugal. In the last year, he started 9 games for them, scored 4 goals and 2 assists. He's got 52.1 average. Don't expect him to perform well in this upcoming World Cup, so it could be a really good option to consider for your squads. For Uruguay, and the only player that managed to find for them is Luis Suarez, who now plays for Nacional in the Uruguayan League. In the last year for Uruguay, he started 7 games and also got 4 goals. So I think he's going to be an important striker for Uruguay in the upcoming World Cup, and I wouldn't bet against him getting a few goals. In terms for Portugal, I've gone for Diogo Jota of Liverpool. In the last year for Portugal, he started 6 games, so 2 as a substitute, but he scored 2 goals and also got 2 assists. He's got 52.6 average, so he's looking a really good option up front for the World Cup. Another fantastic option, and the guy who likes the big tournaments, is Cristiano Ronaldo of Manchester United and Portugal. This guy is going to be scoring goals, as he always does, at these big finals. It's probably his last World Cup as well, potentially, but you never know with Ronaldo. He's probably going to be playing when he's 40 odd. But yeah, this could be his last World Cup, so he's really going to be wanting to get some goals to add to his records, and also potentially have his last chance to lift the World Cup. In the last year for Portugal, he started 9 games, scored 5 goals and also got 2 assists. And I wouldn't bet against him being the main man again for Portugal in this year's World Cup. So then, that is all the players I've managed to find from Group H. Let's have a look now at my Dream Team SO5 for the upcoming World Cup for Group H. So here it is then, here's my Dream Team for the Group H in the World Cup. Now, I have gone for Diego Costa in goal, but as I say, I don't know if he's going to be the starter or not, or Rui Patricio. Doesn't look like Diego Costa has potentially got the nod, but it might be worth checking that out. I've also gone for Mendes as well to make up a nice Portuguese defensive stack there. I've gone for Fernandes in midfield. I think he's going to do really well for Portugal in the upcoming World Cup. Probably providing the assists for Cristiano Ronaldo, who I've also gone for in the extra slot. I don't expect him to have a good tournament, score plenty of goals, never write this man off. And I've also gone for Luis Suarez in the forward slot, because I think he is going to have some goals for Uruguay, and obviously it's potentially going to be his last World Cup as well, so I do expect him to get most of the goals. And Uruguay have a good chance as well of qualifying from this group. So that was the conclusion of the Group H players and my Dream Team and analysis for the upcoming World Cup in Qatar. This is the final video in this series as well, where I've highlighted every group and every player for those groups. So do check all those videos out if you've not yet seen those. If you did like the video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're not signed up to Sorare yet, sign up using the link below to get a free limited card and 13 common cards. Check out my Patreon for regular scouting, and also check out SorareAssist.com for more free Sorare content. Okay guys, thanks for watching as always. Hope you like this World Cup series. Hope if you find it useful and you've got plenty of options for the upcoming World Cup. I'm certainly looking forward to the tournament. I'm going to be watching all the games, and even though I won't be able to afford the players like Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, I will still have some players in the mix just to make it a bit more interesting. Okay guys, thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you again soon.